So ever since the time skip, but more in particular, ever since this Spade Kingdom raid arc has started, we have been getting a lot of death flags for certain characters, and beyond death flags, we have actually gotten death from the Golden Dawn. Xenon and his Dark Disciples took out half of the Golden Dawn members. And ever since the capture of Yami, William, Lord Bachika, a lot of the fans have been debating which one of these characters will actually die. And if you all see my Gordon video that I did a month ago, you will know that I do not agree with the notion that Lord Bachika will die, and that Tabata has been setting up Gordon to remove Lord Bachika's curse. So if you missed that video, go check it out. However, the main discussion has been the topic and the fate of Yami and William, since they are both in a situation where both of them can die, but a lot of the fans have been asking the question, which one would truly die, or will they both die? But today in this video, I'm going to be talking about why Tabata has been writing William in a way where his fate towards the end of this arc could potentially already been decided. So this video will be strictly about William's death and why this could potentially happen. And as always, if you are new, subscribe to the channel with notification bells on and leave a like on this video. Now let's get started. Now I get it, what Tabata has been doing in these color pages, they have been blatantly obvious. The recent color page, we see that all the Black Bull members are wearing a black suit, almost like they're going to a funeral, with Yami in the back with his back turned. And a lot of us have been thinking maybe that is a foreshadow of Yami's death, because every time we have been seeing Yami in this entire arc, or even in the manga spreads, we have been seeing his back turned. And him passing his katana to Asta, things have been blatantly obvious that he could die. It has been too obvious to the point where I believe that is what Tabata wants us to think, that Yami will die. And the reason why I don't see Yami dying is because there is too much for his character that revolves around other characters for plot progression in the story. For example, Tabata has been clearly setting up the relationship for Yami and Charlotte, and every time we see Charlotte more and more later in the story, she has been willing and getting more comfortable to tell Yami how she truly feels, but she always cowers out. And I don't see Yami dying without Charlotte telling Yami how she truly feels. And we all know that they're both going to get together eventually, so that plot in the story and that character arc for Charlotte will completely diminish if Yami was to die. There will be nothing much left of her character. Then we also have the different continent in Black Clover confirmed to be the land of the sun, which is where Yami is from, and we know that the way that Tabata has been writing the story, if you were to kill Yami right now, there will be no point for an arc for the Black Bulls to go to the land of the sun without Yami. Plus his reunion with Noct, we need to see how that dynamic progresses. I feel like there is too many layers for Yami's character that is just too important right now for him to die off early in the series. Now you're probably asking yourself, why do I believe Tabata has been writing Yami in a way for him to survive, but for William to die, even though they're in the same situation? This is where we break it all down. Now, when it comes to the entire first saga of Black Clover, which is the Elf arc, there were a lot of important characters that were involved. But there were two characters who were the leading cause for the plot to progress, and that was Patri and Zagrid. Zagrid manipulating the whole situation behind the scenes while he's using Patri. However, William's body was the catalyst. William keeping the secret that there is a elf who is Patri, the secret of both of them sharing the same body, and how Patri, who was leading the charge of the Eye of the Midnight Sun with his vengeance to take out all the humans in the Clover Kingdom, and in doing so, allowing this to happen, he broke his entire oath as a Magic Knight. He's the reason why Figolion lost an arm. He lied to Yami, he lied to his entire Golden Dawn squad, and kept things from them, which led him to be elf-possessed. Him keeping this secret led the Clover Kingdom into ruin. A lot of people don't trust him like that anymore. All the captains are now suspicious of William because he couldn't choose between the humans and the elves, which was explained to us by Yuno. And he's the reason why Julius died, came back as a kid. You can say the entire first part of the story of Black Clover all comes down to the responsibility of William not making a decision between the humans and the elves, which led things to happen. The two most important people in the world to William that impact his life is Julius and Patri. He even told Julius that I have a precious friend inside of me that I knew longer than you. You are both equally important to me, and that's why I can't choose one of you. So I leave both of you to decide for me. William allowed Patri and Julius to fight to the death because he couldn't make a decision. And William, ever since that day, he felt bad for what he did. to the point where he told Julius that I pledge my life again to you. I would never betray the Clover Kingdom. William knows that he needs to atone for his sins desperately, to the point where he needs to make everybody trust him again because everyone is very suspicious of him, which is completely understandable. He knows what he did caused so much havoc to the point where things can be beyond repair. We saw in the anime that he felt so bad that he was ready to give up his title as a captain and give it to someone else. He felt like he didn't fit anymore because he has this constant guilt after everything he has ever done. He went so far to tell Julius that I need you to assign me to a mission where I put my life on the line to help fight this devil. Tabata is showing that William's character is changing before our eyes. He is now willing to make a decision that benefits the Clover Kingdom and not run away from his responsibilities because he feels guilty for everything that he has ever done. He told Yami and Jack that he promised them that he would do everything in his power to defeat this devil, even though they were passed out drunk. And we even saw when the Golden Dawn was being attacked by Xenon, he was handicapped in the fight twice. Even Xenon told him that this is the reason why you will lose, because William is trying to save everyone. Despite the fact that his own life is in danger, he chose everyone before him. He chose the kingdom first. He chose the squad first. He didn't let anybody make a decision for him this time. He made a decision for himself. He even told Xenon that he allowed and let the Golden Dawn walk this path of thrones because of his own mistakes and his own decision. However, the Golden Dawn will forever be his pride and joy. William is willing to do anything in this arc to save his people first. Despite being captured by Xenon, he even preserved mana to have enough to summon the spell, which allowed half of the Golden Dawn members to survive because he knew he would get captured. That's how far William will go to protect the people of the Clover Kingdom now. Even though his life is on the line, being captured, he chose the people first before himself. The first entire saga of Black Clover falls in the responsibility lap of William because he could not make a decision. And now, the second saga of Black Clover, they need Yami and William's World Tree magic to create the Tree of Qliphoth, to open the gate to the underworld, to let all the devils roam free. William's entire existence have been the catalyst for the plot progression in the story of Black Clover. And based off all the evidence, the way that Tabata has been writing William, not making a decision, not choosing anything, which led the kingdom to be in ruin, now he is writing William to make a decision, to redeem himself, to atone for his sins, which will cause him and lead him to his death. He had a Wizard King moment when everyone in the Clover Kingdom thought that he saved the kingdom. And that was the start of William trying to redeem himself and start over again to repay everything that he has ever done. He was still undecided though during that time. Tabata wrote a character arc for William where he couldn't choose. William couldn't make a decision. Now Tabata is writing a character arc for William where he will make a decision. So, if I believe he will die and will sacrifice his life, how exactly do I believe he will die? And I think this all relates to his World Tree magic. Now, for the Tree of Qliphoth, we know that William and Yami are the two most important pieces to keep the Tree of Qliphoth going. However, they're not the only components here. It's also the Dark Triad. The rune circles around the Qliphoth all represents the Dark Triad. So them being alive or just them being there is the activation for the Tree of Qliphoth itself as well. Evidence of this is that when Nock, seeing that Dante was defeated, he said that this will slow down the activation for the next gate to open. And then right after that, we see a circle around the Qliphoth disappear, which means that the more the Dark Triad is defeated, when each one goes down, the demonic rune disappear, which will weaken the Tree of Qliphoth in its entirety, which means that the weaker the Tree of Qliphoth gets, the more and better chance that Yami and William can escape from this. However, if you take a deeper look, you will notice that Morris also has his own circle for the ritual. And during that time when Dante was defeated, he didn't seem worried at all, which makes a lot of sense. He even laughed about it. He has the knowledge of all the previous queens of the Heart Kingdom, which speeds the process to open up the gate. So, if all the Dark Triad members was to fall, Morris wouldn't care. So it already seems as though Tabata has written Morris in a way where he has a backup plan if all else fails, even without Yami and William being there. Now, when the first gate was open and the Tree of Qliphoth was summoned, there is something that Ralph and the others said about the roots of the tree. Someone mentioned that the roots of the tree is absorbing the mana from the atmosphere. No, it's absorbing the mana from the world. What does this sound like? It sounds like William's roots from his World Tree magic. We see how his World Tree magic is able to absorb mana within the area as well. It also gives him the ability to absorb people's magic as well. So if Morris is unbothered by the fact that the Dark Triad is falling and he knows that this can still be a complete process, even despite the fact that Yami and William are there, knowing that the runes would disappear would lead Yami and William to escape, he can still succeed with this. So how can you stop the world being absorbed from mana? And that's to counter it with arcane magic to absorb the Tree of Qliphoth's roots from absorbing the mana itself. And we know that the elves are going right for Morris because the way this arc has been setting up, we know that Patri is going to save William at all costs, and he will have some people there. Morris also has a backup because we've seen an Ace Shining General, who we still haven't seen his face yet, that was with Morris like a bodyguard, which will lead into a battle with Morris squad and Patri squad in the same area where Yami and William are being held. I believe that when the Tree of Qliphoth and the runes around it are weakening, I see that William will use his World Tree magic to absorb the mana from the roots of the Qliphoth, which is absorbing the mana from the world, which will completely stop the underworld gate from opening, so there will be no more devils coming out, which will lead into a death of William because absorbing all that mana and that negative mana from the Tree of Qliphoth and the entire world's mana, which will lead into a bad side effect, and that side effect will be William's death. In the first saga, thanks to the help of Asta and Licht, William's World Tree magic was used to open up a path for the elves to go to the afterlife. And I believe in this saga, he will open up a path to close the underworld, but in the consequence of sacrificing his life. This will be the first impactful death in Black Clover, and it will be so impactful that this could change Yuno's character, which could lead him down a road to stay in the Spade Kingdom or in the Clover Kingdom, which a video in the works is already being made about that. His death will hurt pretty much everybody in the Clover Kingdom, especially Julius, Yami, and definitely Patri. But the way that Tabata is writing this entire character arc for William, this leads me to believe that he will make a sacrificial death. So you guys have an awesome life. Take care of yourselves. Take care of that subscribe button too with notification bells on. You thought I wasn't going to do it for this video? You guys already know I gotta make the subscriber pun for every video. Take care of yourselves. Stay blessed, and I'm out.